Culture. I'm here with Jeff, or Paper D, who's a big influence on the ape community, and we're super excited to be talking today about the Bored Ape Mutant Serum. It looks like in 2 minutes the snapshot is going to occur, and we're already seeing the floor just drop, and some people are going to be really sad if they have their computer clocks off by 5 minutes to stay ahead, and they listed their ape quickly to get out of it because they're running out of time to drop that quickly.
Definitely. Yeah, we're just about to take the snapshot in 1 minute now, and the floor went to, somebody listed at 51. It was snapped up right away. Now there's a couple at 55, and it looks like they're getting snapped up too.
I mean, that's the thing is like, and I bet they're like crazy gas, right? So people can probably put like instant rapid gas just to get it through. I think it'll cool off very quickly, but it's been crazy to watch today's rise, right? Like one of my good friends sold, and he had it listed a couple days ago at 35, and I was trying to talk him out of it, and I did. And then he kept listing like every 30 minutes, just following the floor up. And finally, once it got to above 45, he and his family, for them, for everyone, it's insane amount of money and opportunity. And he said, you know what, it's at 48. I'm just it
just happened. Sorry to cut you off. If you look at the chat in BAYC, it's just
is it going nuts?
It's just mayo.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely the fastest chat I've ever seen. They don't turn on slow chat, so
that's so crazy. Yeah, the memes are perfect in here.
Yeah. Pablo Lopez he's been killing it with the memes. He's been making all the custom ape memes, and they're just fantastic. He's making them every day, and they're just everyone's better than the last. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so the Bored Ape community is one of the best, and I don't get to spend, like, as a curator of content, like with NFT Culture, I don't get to spend as much time in like the Orange DAO or the Bored Ape Yacht Club community as I like. But every time I go in there, like, it's some of the most friendly people I've ever met, and it's so just, geez Louise, you just watch it, just wall of text, mayo, mayo. It's crazy. So what are your thoughts? So we have an hour. We're not going to go an hour. So everyone, we're going to give you as much intel as we can now. Might come back. I got family friends coming over. I got to get in the pool for a little bit, but I'm probably going to come back once the airdrop happens. We might go live a couple times today. We might bring in different guests here and there. I don't know. But
I'm gonna refresh for the next hour, just constantly just refresh. Wait to see it.
It's crazy.
Recently received.
It's one of those things, like, for me personally, I've been the king of paper handing. This is literally the only thing I haven't paper. Yeah, it is true. And it's like, I could have had life-changing money had I just like held on to some of my gutter cats, some of my other projects that you were telling me behind the scenes. Like, we're chatting at odd hours, and you're like, please, like, buy this and don't paper hand it. I'm like, yeah, I won't paper hand it, I promise. And then I paper hand it anyway.
I'm going to create a custodial service for you.
I think that's a good idea.
You don't have access to.
I'm going to give you like a few ETH and just be like, whatever you're buying, buy. Don't tell me about it until it moves.
Yeah, it's the secret.
And I'll give you 20% when you think it's the time to sell.
Perfect.
Paper as a service.
Yeah. It's today's like been mind-blowing. I was up till 4 a.m. in the voice chat for BAYC, and it was like right before midnight in on the West Coast. Steph Curry posted that he bought the ape, and he changed his picture profile right away, and then he came into the Discord, and to prove it, he did a selfie, and I've never, it went wild.
I mean, one of the greatest, basketball players of all time already. And it's crazy to think about. And you and I were talking about this offline, just the, when you think about the value of something and people who aren't in the community, people that don't understand it. And I think you gave a statistic, like there's over 20 million millionaires in the United States alone. And then when you think about the global wealth, and shout out to Ted's Little Dream. He knows I love him. I want to get him in Texas. I'm going to see him in New York. A very awesome artist on Nifty Gateway and all the major platforms. So thanks for for tuning on. Ted, you're always welcome on if you want to hop on and talk about Apes. Would love to have you. DM me and I'll shoot you the link. But it's crazy for just to think about how many people don't even know that this world exists yet, and once they do know about it, they're going to want to be a part of it. And people like Steph Curry, Jay-Z is one thing where he buys the PFP of the punk and like doesn't use Twitter, and it's still awesome that he does that. But Steph Curry has 3,000 tweets, is very involved, very engaged. And not only is that going to be crazy for like the broader community, because everyone who doesn't know what NFTs are going to be like, why is Steph Curry an ape? And then every other NBA player is going to be like, oh, wow, like this is crazy. And then you have Des Bryant and everything else. And so when you think about the value, it's like, it's like Christie's and everything else and Sotheby's, like that's awesome. But the social proof is more. What do you think the horizon is for these apes, agnostic of the mutant serum that's coming in less than an hour?
Well, I mean, I've become an ape maxi, I guess. So my thought is, I thought we'd be at, I think like the first time I was on, I predicted that we would be at 20 at the end of the year. And now that is, we've almost tripled that. So my thought is that as CryptoPunks keep going up, because they're going parabolic too, they're kind of creating like a snowplow effect for BAYC. And whatever their price discovery is, like ours is kind of just coming right behind it. And, they're just leading the way for new outrageous prices that these things are going to go for. So one thing about like, a lot of people thought like there would be like a huge dip after this. I mean, there will probably be, we've seen kind of a little bit of a dip. I don't know. I'm not really looking at that activity at the moment. I'll pull that up. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to see if people are like listing below the floor. So like 53 is the floor.
Oh, sorry,
and that's just muted. Like a flipper. Oh, that's okay. So like 53.99 is the floor. That's a flipper that just bought it at 48. It's a lot of flipping right here at the very floor, but it's so thin to back to 60.
Well, it's also like the people that want the exposure, right? Like, so if you could, if people thought they timestamped and they hadn't yet, and they sold early, hypothetically, if you have enough ETH, you could buy it, and then now you have exposure to Bored Ape Yacht Club, whatever it is, and then you can flip right out of it because you're going to get the airdrop. And it's crazy just to see like, some like this one 11 minutes ago breaks my heart because it's only 3:06 Central Time, 30 ETH. Like I hope that they knew what they were doing and didn't mess up, because it's an expensive mistake pretty quickly.
It is.
And granted, like 30 ETH is like still life-changing money, but it has cooled off from the 60 floor that it was at, but there's still movement at 55. Which is really interesting to see. And then, I mean, the listings are just incredibly strong. I think that there's anticipation now where I think people are thinking that it's going to keep going up. Typically, these drop after the airdrops, but we know that Bored Ape Yacht Club is a little bit different than that. Where if there's an airdrop now, there's still massive auction houses coming in September, October timeframe, and then like, what's next? There's gonna be another thing, and as you were saying, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, they've already leaked that there's roadmap 2.0, and then there's the ETH treasure hunt still on 1.0. So there's a lot to keep the project super strong, and every time they deliver, and they said that the mutants won't affect the value of the original apes. It kind of opens up the community. It also gives people, like, instead of selling your ape, like if you want to make some ETH, you can sell your serum, you could sell your mutant, you could sell your dog still. You have options that you can hang on to your original ape and still have liquidity and move stuff around however you want to do it. So I think the the serum market is going to be super interesting this afternoon. I mean, I've heard some interesting theories about like maybe unused serum may have like a super value in the future, like a unopened pack of basketball cards or something like that from the 90s. So there could be a market for that. We don't know at this point, like, can you use more than one thing of serum on one ape?
That's what I was thinking.
You
Is
know?
like, are you going to create demand? Like, could it be a scenario in which just share my DMs on Twitter? It's going to be really interesting to think like, what if there's a multiplication factor where, and that scarcity could be interesting, where it's like you have rarities, but then you can also essentially re-roll with the serum, which is like a cool theory to say like, there's going to be people that may hodl that serum for an extended period of time, and this team's incredibly smart about how they're doing everything. So it's really interesting to think of all of the possibilities, and they've learned from all of the other drops, from foraging to airdrops to everything else, and they were smart up front. So it's one of those things we can't speculate. And I have a feeling we're not even going to know everything once the serum is given to us. There's going to be other surprises and things to reward those that attempt to do things in new and interesting ways.
Yeah, no, and I think, they just haven't disappointed us once. And there's always been like little surprise. Oh, wait, there's an announcement. Hold on, let's see. In the Discord.
Yeah, they said between 4:30 and 5.
Taken. Airdrop of mutant serums will commence between 4:30 and 5. Okay. So here we go.
Here we go. What would be your most excited scenario of this? Like removing the money, like the gamification, the game theory, the utility. What would be like the best case scenario that would excite you as an ape?
Well, I mean, like kind of what you're saying with goats. So I used that as just kind of a playground because I had 3 of the goats and I didn't know like what the rules were. So I forged 2 of them, and then I had another one and I was like, oh, can you forge the forged one? And you could. And so I did that. And it's like, it's interesting. There's another project called Monster Blocks that I was just playing around with that, every block you bring them and then they stack them and you can choose which one you want on top. And there's a lot of cool mechanics coming into the space. And I think this is going to be the next level of that. These guys have been working 100 days straight on this, 14 hours a day. And who knows how big the team actually is that are helping them out now.
Right.
And, they love this brand. They know the community loves this brand. They're bringing their A game. This has been there since day one. It's on the original roadmap, and they've kept it, played it so close to the vest. It's impressive.
No leakage either, which is it's equally impressive that they've been able to contain it in a society that loves leaks and everything. Like the fact that it stayed really close to the vest is interesting. You made an interesting comment about, I want to talk about forging for a few minutes because our project that launches this week is actually really interesting. That we have a vertical and horizontal forging mechanic where we're going to have 2-tone colors where it's like a silver and gold. And if you have the same piece, you can forge that into a 2-tone. But we also have 3 characters where if you forge the 3 characters, there's actually a 4th character that we haven't even shown one character, but we're not going to show the 4th character until afterwards. But there's like the forging mechanic is just such an interesting way to, and I hope that there's not really a forge. Like I love my ape as clean as it is. I can't imagine doing something that would affect it. And I know that they said it wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So it's not going to be a forge because the forge was you take 2 goats and you only get 1 back.
Right.
So that was, one was burnt and then you get the new one. So this will not be that exactly. This is something, that's maybe, I mean, kind of logically, it's like you inject your ape with the serum and something's going to happen and the mutant's going to happen. So
it's crazy.
Like, I'm so curious if there are going to be different types of serum that different people get. There has to be that, right? Like, that
at this
there's going to be like radioactive serum. There's going to be galaxy serum. It's going to be based on those dog traits. you know, that are new. And now I'm still holding 5 apes, so I'll have 5 vials of serum, and now it's going to be like, who do I give what to, and do I
And
save one thing of
and is
unopened?
there the multiplication? Do you do all 5 on 1 and like something real
Yeah,
crazy happens?
yeah. And
That's wild.
I'm honestly, I'm going to look at the floor for it as soon as it drops. I mean, I don't know. Like everybody in BAYC was saying, like 10 ETH floor for serum, but somebody might paper hand it, get it at a couple ETH. It happens.
It happens.
So
And I mean that's the other thing, like it's the value that's gonna, and I think like that's why you're seeing some of the floor kind of temporarily drop, is like when the apes were where they were, you saw immediately after the kennel dogs came out, like what
yeah,
the logical floor at the time everyone thought was. And so you saw the build in where it's like, okay, let's see, rough math, because it was lower than this, but if your ape was worth 10 and your kennel dog was worth 1, you saw floor real quickly on the apes drop temporarily to 9 before, you know, it repaired itself. You know, your comment about the snowplow is really interesting, right? It's like we have as ape owners, like we're riding the drift of the crypto punks, and like they're so
yeah,
tightly aligned, like some of the altcoins that are tied to some of the other altcoins, where it's like if this is moving up, you can you know logically, okay, I don't have to check the price of this because it's so tightly
right.
aligned. And I know if punks are going up, generally apes are following suit. Do you think that
Yeah,
there's ever a scenario where the apes actually can outpace the punks? I'm skeptical, but I'm curious what you think.
I think that I I don't know. I
And that's a
think that the
danger. And I don't,
brand
that's a
building,
dangerous question. I'm putting you on the spot.
it is.
You don't.
It is.
You
But
could
that's okay.
abstain from the
I'll answer
answer.
it. No, I like, I don't own a punk. I love punks. I had the opportunity to, I could have sold 2 apes at several different times and bought a punk. I decided not to. Like I said, kind of become ape maxi. So that's the perspective I'm coming from. The difference in the brands, Larva Labs, you can earn $250,000 on your punk in a year. Apes, it's unlimited. You own that. You can do what you want. You can make an entire business around it, and there's no cap. I think that is unparalleled. You know, like to see, you know, that's going to become, and it already is becoming it's like just a recognizable brand. And the more celebrities and things that join the ecosystem, it just pushes it higher. And it's it's just recognizable. I think anytime you see an ape, you know it's an ape. Like the crypto punks, they're definitely recognizable, but not in the same aesthetic, I would say. Like like, I love pixel art. There are some people that just don't like pixel art. There are some people that don't like apes either. But you know, I think that the brand value is just growing every day. And so I think there's a chance that the floor could get very close. I don't know if it would ever flip. I mean, I hope that it does, but it's a ways to go.
I agree. I think that the purists of kind of and there's, you know, we're finding out left and right about the Pepes and the Curio cards and all these projects that
Right.
are predate it. And I think that's fine and that's great. But I do think that like you have a reputation where the punks had long enough to develop. And even if you say, okay, those came first, like they weren't PFPs, right? CryptoPunks
Right.
is still the first generative PFP project. And I think that
Yep.
the maximalists there are going to give it its credence. But I do think when you think of the uncapped opportunity for creativity around
Yeah.
that, brands like a brand like Arizona Iced Tea
Hmm.
has limited upside buying a CryptoPunk, and
Right.
but you do, you know, a million bottles of Arizona iced tea with an ape on it. Well, now you have a fan base and everything else, which we talked about last time we were together. So it's really interesting
Yeah.
to see that even though the reputation may never exceed the punks, the total value of the apes may, you know, actually be higher at some future point. It may not, but I think that there's more upside there.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, if we think about which floor is going to do a 2x first, I think it's going to be apes before it's punks at this point. I mean, the communities are really getting crossed over. Like there are so many apes that are punks and so many punks that are apes. So it's just a strong group. And what's great about it is that these two projects have done so well, and they're in price discovery mode both at the same time, and it's pulling up these other projects too. Like Cool Cats is going crazy right now, and so is Gutter Cats. They're just following this wave.
Right.
So people are taking profits and reinvesting. And so like people that aren't into Bored Apes right now, I mean, I have two strategies for looking at that stuff. It's like, one is try to get your hands on Serum and hold on to that. That's going to be valuable. That people are going, like there are flippers doing this stuff. Like they're not, I mean, depending upon where they live, flipping something in, buying something at 48 and selling it for 52 is a terrible idea with taxes and
Right.
fees and gas. It's just not worth it. It's, and it's risky in some ways too, but yeah, that flipping's pretty dangerous. But I think all this money from profits, people are not cashing out right now. It's not the
Right.
top. So it's basically people are going to have a huge amount of capital, and it's going into art, and it's going to go into long-term project. It's going to go into art blocks. It's going to go into, blue chip artists.
Yeah.
And it over the next 48 hours, it's going to be volume smashing records on OpenSea. Like it's going to be $2 billion in 24 hours, no doubt in my mind. That
Yeah.
it's gonna destroy any kind of record. Like I wouldn't be surprised if OpenSea just starts crashing and crashing and crashing. There's going to be so much.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they can handle the demand. I agree with you completely. And I said this on the Friday happy hour yesterday. It feels like an eternity, but like this is this OpenSea right now, and it may not always be this way, but it's the one example where like the true trickle down economics actually works, where people who sell they got lucky. I bought it for 0.2 ETH, and now I sell it for 80 to 120. And now I'm going to reinvest. I'm going to go buy the Mad Dog Jones that I could never afford. I'm going to go buy the F-Render crystals. I'm going to go buy all these things. And so I think it's going to be really healthy for all the other projects. And that's going to be really, really interesting to watch. And so, the comment we were talking about earlier about when the millionaires come in, they're not going to speculate on like OniForce. OniForce is a great project. I wish I held. Another example of paper handing. At 3 ETH, I can't believe that it felt like a paper hand, but it did. But then like they're going to buy the apes, they're going to buy the punks while they're getting acclimated with the space. And so what that's going to do is, and then their friends are going to see it. So like, unfortunately, there's going to be a period in the near term, I think sooner than later, where the price of the punks and the apes is going to just be astronomical relative to everything else, because that's the onboarding platform for wealthy. Which is going to be good because there will be other projects that start to fill that third, fourth gap. I think we need that maturity to kind of level out, but it's just going to be the Wild West. And Nick talks about it a lot. Sophisticated art speculator. He was calling the top every day for 3 months. But as long as there's growth for short term, this isn't financial advice, but as long as punks and apes are still moving healthy and upward at a relative pace, that money, 10 apes sell today. Today it's like 500 Ethereum that's being reinvested in these smaller projects. So that's the perspective that people need to be mindful of, is that a lot of the people that are buying these, it's either very, very wealthy people who are trying to consolidate, or it's new people who are trying to come in and they want that as a PFP.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I was like, in the middle of the night last night watching activity, and you'd see like an ape that was really went for like a little bit under what you think it would go for, and then you'd see a second ape go from the same person, and you're like, oh wait, did they get hacked or something like that? And then literally a minute later you see like a big buy for a really expensive forever ape. So like it's people making their moves before it's out of reach,
The
because we're
flipping,
gonna, I mean, my prediction for Christie's was $3 to $5 million for that ape, and that might be conservative at this point. You know,
It's crazy.
It is. It's
and imagine if
absolutely-
serums like the benefit of like we don't even know how awesome like this next thing that could come is going to be.
Yeah.
That could just completely flip it all on its head.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm refreshing right now because
Yeah.
we're about 6 minutes away.
You
Maybe they
think-
dropped it early, huh?
Yeah. You know, has the Discord calmed down? You know,
No,
I
I can't
think,
catch up with.
yeah, it's going crazy. You know, I'm out of thoughts until we actually see what's coming our way. Do you have any final thoughts until we see this thing?
Yeah, I think that the move, if you're not in BAYC, get in those other blue chip projects that you can still get into because money's coming to you. So get there before the pump. Don't buy the pump. So,
Right.
you know, if like World of Women's being ignored right now, or Subducks, or whatever these other projects that have have lasting power, that have proved themselves, get into those now, and they're going to find it's kind of like altcoins following Bitcoin. Like, think of this as punks are Bitcoin, apes are Ethereum, and then go from there. And so Bitcoin's pumping and follow that money down. It's gonna come back into it. Like, there are too many new people that are on their first or second NFT, and they have done really well already, a lot of them, and so they're here to stay. And yeah, so get in before the pumps and you'll be in great shape.
Completely agree. I think, for me, it's Subduck, which I had a few of in paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking at getting back into it. Oni, I think, has strong ability. World of Women obviously has a lot of potential. I think that and Cool Cats. I'm just not a cat person. But there's still that shouldn't make you blind like it did me. But it'll be interesting.
I have two cats still that the last time I looked before the stream it was at 5.5 for the floor now, so they're really pumping. And I bought the Ghost collab with Cool Cats this morning, the Cool Cat side one, for 1.25, and then it immediately went to like 1.7. I don't know what it's at now, but
That's
stuff
crazy.
is going nuts. So there's
Awesome.
going to be a lot of money flowing around this weekend.
Yeah, and like that's the OpenSea is just gonna keep whoever invested. Like, I know it was partially Mark Cuban and others, but everyone who invested in OpenSea like July 20th before August, that $100 million investment. I was doing some math on like the OpenSea fees and the amount of volume that they're doing. Like, it's crazy to think like in a week it pays for the entire investment that they had. But it's going to be an interesting. The other thing to think about is unfortunately, my suspicion is that there's going to be more restrictions this fall without talking about that thing. And I think people are going to be spending more time at home and football season and all that type of stuff. I can see a lot of people now that it's wide open for college football. College football players can now make money off of their likeness. Yeah. They're going to be like the sky's the limit as we head into the fall, and I think this is the type of thing that will sustain the bull run long enough for Christie's to kind of take the apes, and then we hit football season, and now everyone's talking about NFTs nonstop. It's gonna, yeah. I think it goes through November at this point.
Yeah, I think. I mean, honestly, I was listening to Bobby Hundred's talk on Spaces yesterday on Twitter, and he was talking about like the rise of streetwear culture, and basically how what really got it going was collaboration between artists and projects. And when I think that's just, we're at the infancy of that for this. Whoa, somebody got Serum. No, somebody faked it. We watch out for fake Serum.
Yes, someone Franelations just said Bored Ape Cat Club, and it's like, oh no, it's fake. Yeah, like you gotta watch out for the fakes at this point.
Yeah, I posted that on Twitter this morning that like the FOMO is too real. I've definitely bought a couple projects being like, whoa, that really exists and it's so cheap. And I mean, it's probably happened to me 3 or 4 times where it's just like, it's so, wait, no one's seeing this. And you grab it and then you take a step back and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And then you check the Ether scan and they've got like just your ETH in there. And you're just like, all right, I'm going to take my time and, check and make sure it's the real link. Go to the Discord, get the real link. Don't buy, because they're cloning stuff literally as soon as it drops.
Right.
So, you want to check the actual token that it's the proper one and that it actually has money in there. If something's too good to be true, it's probably fake. Did you get it?
No, but what is this? What did I buy? Did I buy something?
We got 1 minute. Now I was just looking at my activity.
I received 25 SB on my Ethereum.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. But the timing's off because it would have been. No, it might have been here. I don't want to show it because I don't want to dox that wallet. Yeah, it says receive at 127, which could be, if this is California time, it said plus 25. Here, I'm gonna send this to you. Go here, and then put in your ETH address into, or look at your Etherscan history and just see if you received something. You don't have to click that, but it's weird because this is plus.
Yeah, don't click links, even.
Yeah, even for me, don't click my links, even though I'm throwing links to our Twitter. Yeah, we got the NFT Culture drop. I already linked to it. We're doing a giveaway. Go look earlier in the chat. Sign up. You can get a giveaway. It's going to be huge. We're doing it on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a utility token to support NFT culture, but there's going to be a ton of value. There's going to be airdrops from famous artists, up-and-coming artists who may or may not have been on stream with us. And there's going to be some really exciting things coming.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I got my ETH ready for it.
Awesome. Yeah. So did anything change in your Etherscan?
Not yet. Hold on one second.
Like, this is like crazy because it was a small.
You know what? Ape Gang is pumping right now. I had 2 Ape Gang that I forgot about. That those 2 just sold. I've got like a few more of those. And my board banana just sold too. So, BAYC adjacent projects are going. I heard yachts were selling too from the yacht project.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I got it was from the Super Bunnies. Disregard, because it had an S, and it was 2 hours and 3 minutes ago. So it was plus SB, and it's not in my wallet. So it was something that, like, I was like, wait a second, that's weird. Cool. Well, I guess we pause, right?
Yeah, we'll pause it here. We'll leave it on a cliffhanger.
We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll ping you. Maybe come back on. We do another one in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll hop on again if we maybe I don't know. We won't use any serum until we.
I will not use serum. I might sell my serum. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sell my serum. At least until I talk to you first, right?
Let's see. We need somebody to test it. We need, like, there's been so many jokes about like what mutants are, and like, everybody's made like hilarious mutants in the Discord, and so it's going to be super interesting to see what the actual legit mutants are. It's
I'm gonna check one more time.
Yeah, reload, refresh.
Enhance. Yeah, all right. We'll pause here, and we might come back here in a little while. I got
okay. I got one more thing to say. Somebody, I don't know if this is legit or not, but everybody's pinging it. So they're saying 7,500 M1 mutant serum, 2492 M2 mutant serum, and then 8 mega mutant serum.
Oh wow!
So if that's real,
dang,
I don't know,
man.
This
You know what's gonna be
this
crazy
is
is
like
like,
Christmas.
yeah, like
It's like,
however many people get the 8 mega mutant serum, like if they had sold today, like think about 8 out of what's that in? That's surprising how small that number is too.
everyone's re copying that and pasting it again with the mega stuff. So
Yeah, but it's weird for me. So that's 7,000. That's
no,
9,000.
the total.
Oh,
The total is 10,000,
okay. Okay.
right? Yeah, total's 10,000.
Oh, okay. I misread the 2. I was only reading the 492 here.
Yeah, it looks like that for some
M1
reason.
mutant serum, so 7,500 M1, 2,492. Got it. Yeah, I was like, how did 1,000 apes somehow not like exist anymore? Which didn't make sense. That makes sense.
Okay, let's say real quick. I know we said we were going to stop, but I got one more
I
question.
can keep going for a few. I just have family party going on by the pool, but they can wait.
You're like, there's serum, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
No, so let's speculate, and let's say just game theory. You get the one of the 8 M1. Do you sell it today? Do you hold it? What do you do? What do you price it at if you were to sell it today? And it will
someone's
probably be unrevealed. You could sell it in the next hour in between anything happening, and it might flip. Somebody, like, you could list that for 500 ETH. Somebody might buy that and flip it in that hour for 1,000 ETH, or who knows. The hype is so big and the speculation is so big that
all right.
I don't know
So
what number that could be.
Micah's right. It's Bored Ape Chemistry Club, and it has a blue check. So
Do
there's
they have it
that.
in announcements?
I don't know, but
Is it a fake blue check? Because there's so many. Okay.
no,
No,
like
that's real. Okay.
yeah, when you do Bored Ape, thanks, Micah. You're the best. Bored Ape Chemistry Club, right here, blue check, verified collection.
So that means it's a game that we're going to be injecting our apes with different serums, and
Someone's
it's a
already
game.
offered 100 wrapped Ethereum on a mega mutant serum. Enhance. Enhance.
Oh my gosh.
Someone's already
Oh, I
offered
see it.
6
Okay.
on M1 and five on M2.
Okay, this is nuts. So, but there's none.
Oh, sorry,
This is
Franelations. You said it was fake, so I didn't click it. That got deleted by the okay.
all right. I'm gonna refresh again here. This is too insane.
I guess now we should probably go look at here and go to listings. Like here's a fun tip for anyone who's trying to track the projects is don't go to just the main activity feed. You can go to the project page. And this isn't a good example, but here I'll do it here. So if we go to Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I want to see this is a bad example of a project, but if you click volume traded and then switch to listings, you can watch as there's a 20-second delay, just so everyone knows between. And this is why a lot of people are ahead of us, because if you have API access, it's instantaneous. But for the website to refresh, it's between 15 and 20 seconds before it shows up. So if you're trying to compete with people and you click this, you're competing not only on the API refresh, but you're also competing on the speed at which you're willing to spend your gas. And so it's just a fun tip for people that are looking at individual projects to actually go in and take a look at if you're trying to get bored mummy waking up.
So Mel, take a look at what they're actually showing in these thumbnails that they've dropped for us. This is the fun. This is going to be totally dated in 2 days, but this is the fun stuff. So we've got crazy eyes in the middle one, and then we've got tentacles in the mega.
Right.
Like radioactive, symbol. They all look radioactive. Yeah, I mean, I guess, some people were questioning, can you use the serum on the dogs? I don't think that that's going to be the case at this point. But if you held serum in the future, could you use it on the dogs? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious because it's got the crazy eyes. Like, there's some attributes that like are less flattering on the apes, where it's like, what if you could like fix some of those less flattering attributes on your ape?
They're very handsome apes afterward.
Yeah, so like, the eyes are kind of some of the, least popular single attributes, but most of the other attributes people will forgive. So I'm wondering like what I have no idea what this means for anything.
Yeah, I'm in refresh mode now.
Yeah, I with the Pranksy offering 100. I mean, that's interesting. Like,
I mean, that's a steal. Like, no one.
One of 8 of Bored Ape Yacht Club, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody saying over 200 ETH in the chat in BAYC for the mega. That's what they think it'll go for.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you have an 8 out of 10,000 chance to get it.
Yeah, it's definitely winning the lottery. Yeah, okay, so
Scan. If I don't come back,
you won.
If I don't come back on stream, it's because my wife's giving me like a lifetime ban because they're all by the pool. This is crazy.
It'll be worth it if you get the mega.
Yeah, it's crazy that this is falling. It was up to 5 before. It's like people are starting to find out a little bit more. Oh, yeah, that's interesting that the M2, which has fewer than the M1, has only about half the offer, which is like
crazy eyes on it. They think they're going to get crazy eyes.
It's a less desirable trait, as we've discussed.
But you know what? I haven't seen many crazy eyes on the floor lately. I think people scooped them up because they got in at a good price and they're holding. So the floor has been super clean apes lately that are, I think, just people that kind of left them there. And I know I talked to a guy on Discord. He's in NFT Culture, and he had his ape listed last night at 48. And when the announcement at midnight, I messaged him, but he was already asleep. I was like, you might want to delist your ape. And then I posted the news, and then I was watching it, and then like right at 4 a.m. his ape sold. But fortunately, he bought right back in as soon as he woke up before the floor kind of exploded underneath him. So he was still awesome. Able to get the serum. It wasn't his only ape, but I don't think he planned to actually sell it when it sold.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's a close call.
I think that this stream was a success because we actually were able to find, because of help, at least what the serum is going to look like. And we're not, even if it comes to our inbox, we're not going to know the game until 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I think we've done a good job. I need to go do some dad duty. Go. But if you're willing and available, let's pop back on when the announcement happens, and then we'll either be really happy. Hopefully, both of us got one of the 8, and then if that's the case, we'll just fly to Cabo and and just do the stream from there. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll probably be back in about an hour and a half when we know a little bit more. Jeff, thanks so much for coming on. I think this was a really fun stream. So everyone take care, stay safe.